Hello, everybody. VanBradley here, and welcome into How to Win a Science Victory. We're in the mid game now. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have a good time. We're probably going to kill Germany as well, which is great. Just want to say up at the top that our new PC finally arrived. If you've not been following the channel, I've taken all of the income from the channel, the ad revenue, the Twitch subs, the YouTube memberships, etc., and we spent it on a rocket ship PC for Civ 7, which is awesome. Just note, though, that means I've had to reconfigure quite a few of our settings. I've had to reset some things up. I think I've got the balance just right, but if there's anything weird about this video that you're not used to seeing on the channel, I'm still kind of fine-tuning the settings on everything. Otherwise, though, let's hop in to our How to Win a Science Victory game. We're going to do the mid-game in this video, and it's going to be a good time. If we take a look at our empire as we approach the mid-game, you'll notice that a lot of things are going really, really well, namely our core 4 cities. We have 4 cities, which is a little bit behind where I'd like to be, but I think it's made up for the fact that these cities are excellent. They have the wonders we want them to have. They have good Seowans down. They have room for the districts that we want them to have later as well. These aren't going to get ruined by iron or niter or anything like that, so we know we're going to be able to get these districts. They have a lot of room for improvement, and they are currently providing us all the yields we would hope for at this point in the game. We have double the amount of science than the next highest person, which is awesome. Now, if you're not that far ahead, that is all good. But as long as you're more ahead, that's excellent. It's going to be helpful to know that as we fight this war with Germany, they're not going to have any units that we don't also have access to. It's also good to just be ahead because being ahead is better than being behind. With culture as well, we are keeping up. We're not trouncing the AI in the same way we are with science, but we're not going to lose any policy cards or governments that we want because the science is so far ahead of the culture, which is going to be awesome. This war with Germany, we are going to indulge it. I'm going to try and take Munich just to show off a way to do a little bit of domination within another victory condition. I think that's a really fun way to play Civ, and I think it's a fun way to take advantage of an opportunity that we found in this game, so that should be fun. We also still need to settle some more cities. In a typical science victory, I'm going to want about 10 to 12 cities. Now, it depends on the continent situation and the amenities, etc., but 10 to 12 is typically where I land at, which means even if we take 1 or 2 from Germany, we're still going to need to settle a couple of our own. And the 1 or 2 we take from Germany may not even be set up the way we'd like them to be, so we know we're going to have these 2 settles here. We're probably going to have another settle over here, so we are going to have to keep building settlers in the Jive Hive to make sure that works. The mid-game is all about economizing. It's about finalizing the things that you need, so we still need some of these cities. Ideally, they are all settled in this mid-game portion, and it's about making the good things you have even better. So we're building universities where our campuses are. We are going to be building, banks and amphitheaters and those types of things. There are still some districts we are going to need as well. We are still building new districts as our population increases, but we are also focused on making sure the things we have are getting better over time as we unlock things in the tech and civic tree. Let's get some niter online, though. I can either use that to build a musketman later, or maybe a bombard or something, or I can sell it to the AI, but the niter will make this tile better, and it's a good resource for us to have. I'm going to start moving my units up. We should be able to kill this dude with just these archers, yeah? Yeah, we are. Sorry, man. That's unfortunate for you. And a promotion? Oh, my goodness. We are going to need a lot of gold to fund our army, so we'll make this really nice trade route with Brussels there, which should be awesome. Going over the water just increases the amount of gold you get immensely. I had a question in part 1. Now, actually, I normally record all of these games in full ahead of time, just so they're kind of in the bank. But because our new PC arrived, I had to, stop recording on the old one, set this one up, and continue recording again. So part 1 came out in between recordings. And one of the questions I got in that video was about the tech tree, asking if I could explain better every single decision I'm making in the tech tree, because that's part of the game that a lot of people are struggling with. Now, for the sake of time, I won't be able to do that. These videos would be 9 hours long, and they're just not as accessible that way. And the reason why I kind of decided not to do that is because you can at least, it's not a good explanation, but you can at least see what it is I'm teching into as you're watching the video. And so as the video is kind of skipping around, you can see, oh, he went from stirrups to this, or from this to that, etc., etc. But just as a general philosophy, I'm just going to find the things I really want and leave the rest behind. So we're going to go for universities before we go for pikemen and dams, because I really need this university first. We're going to go for niter before we go for coursers, because this niter is more helpful to us than a courser would be. We're going to come for hwachas, banks, and factories before we're going to need caravels for any reason. So we're just going to pick the things that we know we're going to want as soon as possible and go for those. The game is going to force you to circle back in some capacity. If I want factories here, I'm going to have to come up and get this stuff anyway, so there's not much you can do in the way of completely skipping parts of the tech tree, which means that if you just find the things you think you're going to need, right, even if you're not making the best decisions, just as a philosophy, I want Huachas, click that, go to that, and then the game will force you to circle back when you need to. In the civics tree, though, I'm going to try and beeline a third-tier government. Democracy and communism have two very different science victory strategies, but one of the two is absolutely critical for doing this quickly and efficiently, and so the quicker you can get to a tier 3 government, the better, which is typically why it's nice to have a culture number that's even higher than your science number. It's not going to happen for us as Korea, but in some of the fastest science game victories, that's how players approach it, so we're going to do that. Otherwise, we're just picking up things we want along the way. We are going to want a tier 2 government, so we'll probably head down to monarchy, maybe up to exploration. We are going to want mercenaries here for cheaper unit upgrades, etc., etc. So same thing as the tech tree. I'm just going to pick the things I think I'm going to want, and then circle back as the game makes me. First kill for the man-at-arms is going to feel great. This great scientist is also going to heal units more quickly as well. Now, the healing rules still apply. You know, you can't heal in a turn in which you attack, etc., etc. However, we kind of just leave this man-at-arms standing here. It's not very low health anyway, but this great scientist is going to help heal quickly. Otherwise, we're going to start moving our archers up. We will kind of sell my Diplo favor, actually. It's not a good practice to sell your Diplo favor, but yeah, I can sell it for quite a bit of gold up front. Which means I'll be able to upgrade our promoted archer into a crossbowman next turn. Germany already wants to make peace. Couldn't handle losing an archer and a warrior, but I'm going to say no. This is a good peace deal. You're getting gold. These aren't cities we really want anyway. He's not a threat or whatever, but just for the sake of showing it off in this video, I do want to go and take Munich. So, sorry, Germany. Even a good deal is not going to save you this time. First promotion to a crossbowman is in the bank, which is awesome. Now, I actually wonder if I'll be able to get to Huachas before I promote these two. We'll kind of just have to see how the money plays out, but we'll make a start on it. There are two ways to approach tiles like this in Civilization 6. The most purely efficient way to go about this is probably to chop them for the production. However, in this game, I'm not trying to win in the absolute lowest amount of turns. I'm trying to set up an empire that's kind of going to just churn along really successfully to the victory condition. And when that happens, when that's my goal, I really do like these lumber mills. They add a lot of production to a city that doesn't otherwise have a lot of production. We already have a lot of tiles with districts going on that we're going to need to chop anyway. So tiles like this one here, tiles like this one right here even, I'm going to put lumber mills down just to kind of get a more consistent amount of production, even if it's not the most purely efficient. There's a lot of districts I want to put down as well to lock in their production cost. But as you can see, we have a lot of cities we need to settle, and that kind of needs to come first. Cities aren't very helpful if they don't have time to cook, so we're going to get these cities down as quickly as possible. We're going to upgrade a second archer to a crossbow. I sold all of my iron that I had for that, so that's awesome. 2 crossbows is going to be great. Now, these walls here are going to attack the man-at-arms. The walls are going to do just as much damage as his highest ranged unit level is. It's likely he's only got to archers, so they'll attack as if they are archers. If he's only at slingers, even better. But until he builds a crossbowman, these walls will not do a ton to these units, so I'm going to make sure that I come in and pillage as much as I can as we go. It's going to be a cool way to boost through these trees a little more quickly. Yeah, so that didn't do very much damage at all, especially considering that if I just don't move this turn, our man-at-arms is going to heal more than that. That's awesome. So I am going to pillage this for culture. If you take a look at this, though, it's a major defeat. So we have 2 options. We can either use ranged units or, siege equipment to take down these walls. Not my favorite approach, but one we'll probably try here with the crossbows. You can also grab, like, siege towers and allow your melee units to just ignore the walls completely, which is far more fun, because those units aren't killable in the same way that a siege unit is. So we'll pick our poison here, but I'm just going to weaken his empire a little bit as we get these crossbows down, and we'll see how much damage they're doing. If they're not doing enough damage, I'll kind of buy whatever it is we need to buy to make this work. Where is the unit? Yeah, in this case, it would be a siege tower. When adjacent to a city, the attacking melee units just ignore the walls, and so obviously if you can just ignore the walls completely, that's strictly better. He has far fewer units than I thought. I thought he would have more units for sure. That's okay, though. I'm going to do this. Do I even want the Faith Pillage? I might just park him here and just heal him every turn with this great scientist. And then just allow the range units to do all the damage. Oh, there we go. Here come the units. Okay, so he's levied some units. Yeah, they're just not doing a ton of damage. So just to show off, we got a promotion. Never mind. I don't even need to show it off. But I was going to try and show off the great scientist here. Anyways, how much damage will you do to the city? Minor wall damage. That's quite a bit. However, we're not close enough yet, so that's okay. We're just going to chip away at these units. He's levied them as well, so they're not even his. So we'll just chip away at them until we're surrounding the city. As always, a great scientist that has boosts for us is very, very welcome, so we'll use you. And we got the mercenaries boost, so we're going to be able to upgrade really cheaply into our Hwachas, which is incredible. Now, by the time we get them, maybe we'll have made mincemeat of Munich anyway, but, you know, maybe we'll be able to show off the Hwacha in this one. So he's put the heavy chariot into the city, which will increase its strength, which is smart. Now, I want to find a way to make sure that these units are as protected as possible. Just to show this off, he's going to attack twice, maybe even 3 times, and I want to see how much this great scientist heals as an additional bonus. So he's attacked the crossbow, and then the crossbow, it's not going to heal this turn. That's okay, though. We're going to attack Munich. This crossbow is doing enough damage that this is worth it, which is good for us. And you can't attack the city from there, which is interesting. That's okay, though. We'll just move you around until you can, so I'm not too stressed about that. We'll take out all these units along the way. I really want to Suze Samarkand, but I don't want to give it more tiles until we settle this city here. So I'm just going to hold this envoy. There's nowhere to put it that's, you know, super exciting for us. Nazca up here is interesting, but Nazca doesn't do anything for us until we get Munich and we can put some Nazca lines down. So I'll hold the envoy for now because we don't need it for anything specific. Another city going down. This one feels really, really good. Do we still have the builder card in? We still do have the builder card in, which is great when we're settling cities because it'll give us better better build charges, which is what we want. I'm going to head straight here to chop out this aqueduct because this aqueduct is going to make these industrial zones better, and it's something I'm pretty interested in doing, so that'll be great. All right, so he's attacking still, but let's see if I can show this off now. I'm going to hold this crossbowman here. It's going to take one more hit, but then it'll get its normal healing plus the healing of the great scientist, so we'll see how that goes. We'll move here, and that gives us 2 options to attack the city, which is great. You're a third option. You'll actually take more damage. However, I can just move you back and avoid all that damage. So if he's just a bait archer, that might actually work in our favor to be able to get these crossbows to attack simultaneously. Now is a really good time to get this entertainment complex down to make the theater square better, but we're kind of limited on our great writers right now. We're accruing a lot of them, and we have nowhere to put their great works of writing. So I'll go for the amphitheater first, and then we'll work on that entertainment complex once I can come and chop out this cattle here. All right, let's see how much this crossbow heals. It'll depend on how much damage it takes as well, but we'll see. You might attack the archer because it'll be more damage. I'm not sure how the game does that calculation. All right. Yeah, it healed quite a bit. I mean, it had more health than it started with, and it got attacked that turn, so worth it sometimes to just, you know, leave your units for a second. I'm going to attack and not get the healing. I think that should be okay, but yeah, if he wants to allow his walls to get taken out, then I'll leave that up to him. He's got a catapult now, but rather unfortunately for him, I can just kill the catapult. So that did not work as he intended. I will heal the crossbow for one more turn. But yeah, that was not ideal if you're a Germany fan. Now that the tile is clear, even if I'm not building it for a couple more turns, I'm going to lock in the entertainment complex on that tile just to lock in the production cost, and then we'll circle back to it at a different time. All right, so the walls are about half down, and we got a promotion here, so we don't got to worry about health. I'm just trying to, you know, figure out how the AI approaches this battle here so that I can see if this archer is going to be safe, but it looks like he is going to be. I am also going to pillage this campus. It'll get us to Hwachas a little bit quicker. Now, as soon as we take Munich, I'll be able to promote one of these into a Hwacha and then go and show off in Cologne and Berlin how destructive that can be. We have completed an amphitheater, which means we can start getting our great works of writing in there too, which is going to give us more culture, which is wonderful. We're still doing really, really good with our yields. We're making some friends, which is interesting as well. How are we doing for great person points? No engineer points yet. We're working on it. 9 great writer points every turn, 16 great scientist points every turn. So yeah, doing really well. He's giving me more and more gold to make peace, but I think I'd rather just have Munich. Oh, and he just earned a religion as well. Oh my goodness, how unfortunate is that? I'm just going to kill this catapult again. I think that's a better use of our time than trying to... I don't want him to put the catapult in the city center and have him be able to ranged attack our units. And so I think we'll just do that. I'm getting to the point now where the man-at-arms will start getting a victory against the city as well. So let's speed this up a little bit. He has finally started attacking the archer, which isn't my favorite thing. But the good news is the archer can just skedaddle whenever we need him to. So that's fine. I'll get the promotions as we get them, just because I think that's worth doing. Oh yeah, these crossbows are doing great now. Once there's no walls in here, this will be easy peasy lemon squeezy for us to take the city. So next turn probably once the 2 crossbows hit, so that'll be awesome. We are now in a golden age, which is going to be awesome for us. We're going to take monumentality. We don't have a ton of faith per turn, but we're about to acquire a holy site in Munich, and it's not a great holy site, but it is a holy site. So we'll take the holy site in Munich. We'll have enough faith that spending it... Oh, lots of golden ages. Wow, impressive. Spending the faith on a couple of settlers and a couple of builders will be worth it for us this era. So we'll do that instead of the other options. And now we'll just slowly chip away at what's left of Munich until we can take it with the man-at-arms. One of the challenges in a science victory is actually getting through all the great scientists and the engineers until you get to where you want to go. So I would like to double the amount of points towards great scientists. It means I'll get them all far, far quicker. Now, the AI might actually want to stop that. They might be smart enough to be like, no more great scientist points, but we'll see what happens. Double great profit points. The most useless thing ever. But we do get an extra trade route capacity, which is nice. It's going to slow Sangju down a little bit, but I think I'm actually going to buy a settler. Where's Magnus? Does Magnus have provision? I can't remember what we did in this game. Magnus does have provision, so I'm actually going to buy a settler here in the Jive Hive with Faith. That's part of our Monumentality Golden Age. I'm going to send it over here. I want the era score for settling the Delicate Arch. I want this Faith for Monumentality, but I also want to take this space away from Germany so he doesn't have a comeback area later in the game. Is this the turn we finally take Munich? Is this the turn it's possible? It might just be the turn it's possible, everybody. Let's see. Oh, let's try it. Boom. Now, with the capital cities, we don't have a choice but to keep them, right? So normally you'd evaluate the city, you'd take in all the considerations. You'd be like, I want to keep this, or I want to leave it, etc., etc. For something like Cologne, oh, it does have a campus, though. Oh, but it's a pretty bad campus because it turns into a Seowan, and that's not a very good Seowan. Anyways, for Munich, we don't really have much of a choice, so we're going to have a really bad campus, which is unfortunate, +2 campus, but whatever. We are also going to have a good theater square, though, and a wonder that might be good for us, so that's exciting. When you get a new city, it is always more efficient to repair the things that you have broken than it is to build new things. So regardless of what it is, it's usually better to make sure you're repairing everything before you are building anything new. But having Munich here, it's going to take Germany out of the game. We'll be friends with Babylon again. It's going to take Germany out of the game. We can now have a free run at Cologne. We are going to be able to upgrade to Huachas, which will be great. It'll be era score. They're super fun, so we'll utilize some of those. It might even be worth taking out, to be honest, grabbing our Huachas and taking out Jerusalem. It's in the way. It's a good city. It's on a river. Like, do we really need Jerusalem to exist in this game? Samarkand will leave, but Jerusalem, I think maybe we can get rid of just to take up the space. Oh, Germany just settled Ulm. That's a city we gotta get rid of. Now, this Delicate Arch is ours, not yours. We're gonna get rid of Ulm. We can get rid of Ulm very quickly because this is a flat road straight to Ulm with a Huacha. But let's upgrade to Huacha. So we have the option here. It's gonna be 150 gold. But it'll be even less if we put in the policy card for that. So next turn we'll upgrade to Huachas, and then we'll go and we'll destroy the rest of the German territory. These units are going to heal with our great scientist friend, and then we'll have some fun. We'll probably raise Cologne, take Berlin, raise Ulm is probably what's going to happen. I'm going to double down on another +3% in our capital city. It'll also give us a little more tourism for the great works of writing we have there, which will be great. Now, I wanted you, because we need some food in the city. We need to get to 10 population to put down this harbor. Yeah, 10 population to put down the harbor. We'll put down the entertainment complex for now. But we do need this harbor down for the mausoleum, so I want to make sure we're getting enough food to do that. Gangyung is down. We're taking up space from Samarkand. That's okay, though. It's not my favorite to have this happen where you're just so close up to a city-state that they've already taken some of the room. But alas, that is the hand we have been dealt this game. We now have 75 gold upgrades to Hwachas, which are field cannons, but even better. So it's gonna get real intense here with 3 Hwachas. I don't think these cities are gonna last very long, if I'm being honest. He still wants to make peace. I don't want to. I want to take Berlin. That's a good city. And then separately from taking Berlin, I want to eliminate him if I can to get rid of the grievances. Let's just Hwacha a warrior. Yeah, I think it's Jover here for our friend Germany. Ooh, Torres del Paine. Why couldn't we settle that? That's a great wonder. Lots of food, lots of production. Instead, we've got the delicate arch. My goodness. Yeah, he's backing off. He knows the deal. He knows there's no hope for him. Ah, well. Sucks to suck, my guy. Boom. Just took out almost half the walls with 1 hit. Yeah, this is it's gonna be quick for Cologne. These Hwachas they're menacing. You don't wanna mess with the Hwachas. Alright, next turn Cologne will be gone. Do I want to get rid of this? It's a 3. It's just a bad city, but it is a +3 campus that's completely free that we wouldn't have otherwise. So maybe it is worth it. It's finally time for me to place down our first industrial zone. It's not amazing yet, but it's getting there. Once this aqueduct is in, it'll be a little better. We can stop building the trader, which is fine because I can buy a trader with faith if we need one. Okay, well, this city is super duper dead. Oh, do I want to keep it or do I not want to keep it? Let's look at the merits of this decision here. There is some room for it to grow and be a helpful city. It's possible. Is this in a Munson Scott play? I never build a Munson Scott because you need tundra. 20% science and 10% production in all cities. That's really good. If there are 5 snow or snow hill tiles within 3 tiles of the city owned by this player, these yields are doubled. Must be built next to a campus with a research lab on a snow or snow hills tile. This is a tundra tile though. It's a plains hills tile. Yeah, this isn't snow. This is, yeah. Oh, darn. Well, that's unfortunate. So it's not even a Munson Scott tile, which is lame. We're also going to run into amenity problems because this is all the same continent. So it's not like we are discovering new luxury resources that are available either. So that could be the next problem we have, is amenities based. I'm going to say no to Cologne. It's just not a good enough city to be taking up amenities. That was violent. Whoops. All right, we're going to get rid of Ulm really quick just so our city has some room to breathe. And then we will take out Berlin, a city which we are keeping. We are going to keep Berlin, I think. We've finally hit 10 population, which is great. We're going to be able to put another mine next to the Seoan, which is also wonderful. We're going to go exploration for our government. There's a lot of good governments here. All 3 are fine, but exploration is the easiest one for me to get to, and I like exploration, so we're going to do that. I think for what we're doing, plus 15% production towards districts is going to be helpful. So we're building a lot of districts. That'll be helpful. And then plus 10% gold in cities with an established governor. That's helpful as we're starting to establish governors in cities for the plus 3% bonuses they're giving us. So I think overall, you know, you can make a monarchy decision as well for housing and walls and all of that kind of stuff. But I think we're doing fine with exploration. Oh my god, it's finally time to start getting this industrial. 45 turns. Just not a lot of production on this map. We're doing our best, though. I think we are going to take out Jerusalem, to be honest. It's just in such a good spot. I don't know. Taruga, let's head back into Taruga. Oh, you know what, though? Nazca Lines is going to be great for the desert tiles that we can't do anything with. So we'll do Nazca Lines. Nazca Lines give you faith to adjacent tiles and +1 faith to adjacent tiles with a resource, +1 food to adjacent desert and desert hill tiles. And so I think that's what we're going to do, is get some Nazca Lines down to just make these desert tiles a little bit better. Oh, he's got walls in Ulm. Uh-oh, Scout died. That's not nice. That's okay, though. Let's get a new government. I'm going to add the 6 culture from our theater square adjacency, which is going to go up over time as we get the entertainment complex down. I'm going to keep the builder card in. We're still grabbing some builders. Merchant Confed is going to help supply us with some gold, which I'm going to start using to buy kind of our mid-tier buildings shortly. As these industrial zones go down, we're going to want workshops pretty quickly, etc., etc. And instead of waiting for them, just imagine being the engineer who just built these walls. And they're just immediately getting wrecked by the units that came by. It's just so unfortunate. Our delicate arch settle is going in, which is awesome. So that'll be some arrow score there. A little bit of faith too, never killed anybody, but this is going to be a great city. Lots of early production, lots of early food, and from there we can start getting Seowans and some other districts down as well. Oh, they got archers now. Interesting. All right, okay. Incendiaries would have been the better one to go for to do damage to the districts, but alas, it's not always how it goes. 216 gold is also incredible. Is there anything I can just buy straight up for that? A university is 1,000, and that would be great, so maybe we'll save up for that. All right, I'm sorry to have to do it to you, but... Oh, dear. These swatches are really, really good. It's unfortunate what's happening. All right, we can finally place our harbor down, which is very exciting. It'll go in after the entertainment complex, which is great. All right, so we can take out the walls with the one Hwacha, and then this Hwacha is going to move over here to start attacking Berlin. You can't attack from there. Fascinating development. That's okay. We'll move you up close. I'm negative worried about your health because of the great scientist, so I think that's okay. We have a lot of theater squares, so these art museums, archaeological museums, etc. Nice mid-tier building there, so we'll head in that direction. Are we going to earn a great artist soon? Soon-ish. Maybe not soon enough, unfortunately, but that's okay. I'm going to go for that... Oh, you know what, though? One second. Yeah, Wired Nuts needs a 3% booster. Wired Nuts definitely needs a 3% booster. I'm going to go Liang, because with our Monumentality, I'll be able to get 6 charge builders with Liang, so we'll go for that and get that 3% booster for Wired Nuts. I can buy that university now, so I shall. 6 extra science, which is incredible, so that'll be a nice little boost for us. All right, double attack on Berlin. How's it going? That's going okay. I'm gonna stop attacking with you, though, so that you can heal with the great scientist, but major victory. Oh, my God. Yeah, Berlin we're going to keep. It's not the best CO1 ever, +3, but it'll get the job done. All right, now I think if I attack with all 3, oh yeah, I'll be not even all 3. There it is. We'll take Berlin. Oh, poor Ulm is now the capital. Oh, God. Yeah, we are keeping Berlin, though. It's a good enough city. So you can see as I'm building Nazca lines on these desert tiles, they're adding some faith, a little bit of food. They're making these tiles better than they were, which is why I thought the Nazca Suze was a good idea. So we're evidently at war with Jerusalem now because he's seized Jerusalem. It's obviously not going to last very long as we just take out his only remaining city. Taking out his only remaining city, though, is going to have some advantages. It's going to give us 5 air score, which is really welcome. We're not struggling for a golden age, but I'd rather secure it if we could. As well as it'll remove all the grievances from him because he won't be in the game anymore. So the world will hate us a little bit less for the rampage we just went on, which is always nice. I'm saving up so I can immediately buy that workshop, which is going to be incredible. Oh, poor Ulm. Oh, dear. And there he is. Sorry, Germany. I didn't mean to do it to you, but I kind of definitely meant to do it. We are going to raise Ulm. It's not a very good city. I'd rather use those tiles in my other cities. Sorry, Ulm, but we've eliminated someone from the game, which is pretty fun. I'm going to build my first campus research grants. As you complete these, they will just add a bulk of great scientist points to the game, and like I mentioned, we are trying to race through them pretty quickly. There's nothing really to build here otherwise, for now anyways, so we'll go and do that. We now need to look to purchase some luxury resources. I'd love to buy some silk. I'd love to buy some dyes. These are resources we don't have. They are going to help with our amenity problems, so hopefully that's something we can take advantage of throughout the game. Our first industrial zone is complete. I'm going to immediately buy the workshop. It is critical to get more production in these cities. It is critical to get the Oracle working on those great engineer points. We need that churn. We need these engineer points to go down as soon as possible. So I'm going to purchase that workshop just to maximize the production. No one else. So Mongolia started at 1.1 great engineer points. We want all of these. The wonder construction, the extra, the culture, the whatever it is we can get through here. We want it. We need to get to the end of these great engineers quickly. I'm able to upgrade our 3 promo homie to a musket, so why not? I think we're gonna kill Jerusalem. It's just kind of in the way. I mean, Samarkand is also kind of in the way. Samarkand is a very keepable city, though. Yeah, it sucks when you have to kill city-states because they're in the way, but it makes saying Jew a worse city. We could also keep it for the holy site, maybe. We're getting 16 faith per turn. That's pretty good. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I mean, it's almost better to get rid of Jerusalem and settle another city on this river here to soak up all this space, and I think that is what we're going to do instead. Samarkand is another city where you kind of feel like, let's get rid of it, and then settle kind of up here somewhere might be better for us. Another boost great scientist is great, so let's take you and boost what we can. Hopefully it's industrialization. Yeah, it is industrialization. Would you look at that? So now we want to save up for a factory as soon as possible. We are now gaining 2 great engineer points per turn. So we're going to be ahead of Mongolia, which is great. Hopefully we can get even farther ahead really quickly. We're going to start putting wonder cards in. We want this mausoleum to make sure the great engineers we do get have better or a higher amount of charges to use. And so that's going to be great. We're all things coming up VB right now. We can finally build the mausoleum. That's going to take 18 turns. We'll slow that, or we'll speed that up. Sorry, we're not trying to slow it down with policy cards when we get the chance as well. When you have a high amount of faith, Grandmaster's Chapel is really, really fun. And I think it might be the most fun for what we're trying to do. Foreign ministry is interesting, but not helpful now that we've taken a capital city. I just don't think we're going to need to levy city-states or anything like that. Intelligence agency is the best all-around one. One of the things that can really derail our game is if our techs are getting stolen, if our funds are getting siphoned, if our governors, specifically if our governors are being kicked out because we're Korea. So while I think in this particular game, Grandmaster's Chapel would be the most fun, I'm going to go for the intelligence agency because I want to, be responsible, defend our governors. They're giving us a lot of culture and science this game, so I want to make sure we're treating them kindly. All right, I'm going to buy our settler. Just kidding. And one more time, I'm going to buy our settler in the Jive Hive to get it prepped and ready to go to settle where Jerusalem is. And then I think we can just go and declare war. Yeah, sorry, Jerusalem. It's got to have... Oh, and you didn't put a catapult in the city. That was silly. That was a very silly goose maneuver. I'm going to be friends with Mongolia during this because the AI notoriously hates it when you kill city-states. So I want to make sure we're on the up and up. God, these SWAT jobs are so good. Yeah, Jerusalem doesn't stand a chance. Oh, we're crazy. We're crazy people. Let's get that settler to make sure we can we... One second here. What are we doing? Can we hold up? Let's grab that. Thank you. And we're moving on. I can put down another district, though, so let's sauce down the bones of our theater square here in this beautiful +6 tile. That's what we're talking about. Oh, yeah, that's what we're going to want. Perfect. Babylon wants a research alliance. I think that's fair for now. Just to get the alliance levels up, it's not going to be critical. If anything, if you're the one really far ahead, it's a worse deal for you to get the... research alliance, but hey, you know what? We're having fun. Oh dear God, yeah, this is brutal. Is it already done? Okay. Well, that took us 2 turns. That was a little mean-spirited, I think. I like the city. I just don't think we need Jerusalem specifically. So we're gonna. It's gone. Oh no. I think we're gonna settle on this marsh. Oh, not even on the marsh tile because that marsh tile is helpful from the Atemananki. I think we're just gonna settle on this 2-1 tile here. And just have a giant city is going to be the idea. Now the question becomes, do we do the same thing with Samarkand? There's a real argument to be made that we do the same thing with Samarkand. Just go kill it, get it out of the way, settle a big, beautiful city up here. Who's to say it's not a good idea? Oh, Vietnam's mad that we took a city-state. See, that's why you got to be friends before you do it. Do you think we have enough great works of writing? I think we have enough novels in our empire. I love to read. I'm a voracious reader. And yeah, this might even be too much for me. We've started to accrue some coal. One of them is under the Seo on here, which is awesome for us. So we're kind of just accruing that per turn anyway. We're not going to need it until coal power plants come online, which won't be too far away for us. We also need to make sure we're collecting coal in Sangju when we get the chance as well. We're going to need as much coal as possible to power our cities. Powering our cities is going to be a big boost to our total yield output. So I want to make sure we're doing that as soon as we can. I also completely forgot to put the Wonder card in, so I'm going to circle back to Theology, which is just a 1-turn tech to put the Wonder card in next turn. Now, I'm interested in taking Samarkand because they're a much stronger city-state. I still think it's achievable with the units that we have, but the walls will do crossbow damage. They got man-at-arms. It's not as easy of a prospect as the last couple of cities have been. I think if we take Samarkand, all of a sudden our districting options become a lot better. Although this is a great industrial zone right here, assuming this dam goes in, which it will. I don't see why it wouldn't. There's a lot of other good options up here, too. You could do another dam aqueduct system up this way, though, if you got another city here, which I think we're going to. So for now, do I want another district here for now? We can use our engineer to get a Petra in this city pretty easily, which I'd be happy with. A Petra here would be exceptional. What it means, though, is we could dam this maybe, aqueduct here. We're just ignoring Samarkand's existence at the moment. Yeah, these tiles are pretty good, though. But, yeah, maybe that's just the way it goes. Maybe you just gotta fit it in where you can. And then just get your industrial zone here, maybe? And then we can put our own commercial hub here. I don't hate either of those options, to be fair. Does that mean that means we don't need an aqueduct anywhere down here, though. And I think I'd put a theater square, yeah, not next to the Seowan. So yeah, it would be next to this, but I need to wait for Samarkand to go away first. So the long answer is no, I don't want a district. Oh, duplicates of chocolate, please. Please. Oh, they're going to ban something we have, aren't they? They're going to ban something we have. I'm going to cry. Jade gives no amenities. We don't have Jade, so that's pretty sick. We'll take that. We can now pop in the Wonder card. We're not getting builders this second, so we're just popping in the Wonder card until the mausoleum is done. Being able to put lumber mills on rainforest, again, you can chop them. I understand if people want to chop them, I get it. But just having more consistent production in all these cities, I think will be a blessing for us later in the game. We have our first Great Admiral. Now, for this Great Admiral, I'm actually going to see if I can get the Great Admiral. Where did you spawn? Where did the Great Admiral spawn? What the heck? Gain 200 science for each adjacent mountain tile. There's got to be somewhere we can send you that'll be good for this. Oh, yeah, way up here by Nazca. All right, well, so let's send you on a journey up by Nazca. Where did our Great Admiral spawned here. And we're just going to explore the deep ocean with the Admiral because we can't do that with our units yet. Now, I think, genuinely, we are going to struggle against Samarkand. To start this turn, though, I want to buy the factory where I can. It's going to give us extra production. It's going to give a production boost to all the cities near it that don't also have a factory. That production boost will be 3 production. So all these cities gaining 3 extra production for now is really wonderful. It's also going to give us the extra great engineer points, so we're going to do that. And then I'll circle back and I'll buy the workshop and factories in these other areas when we can. There's a bunch of really good wonders we can build in Munich. Oxford University is going to be the best of all those options. Plus 20% science in this city, and it's gaining quite a bit of science as well. 2 randomly chosen texts is wonderful, and the great work of writing slots is great as well. Is that something we can build in the capital? It is something we can build in the capital, and something that's probably better in the capital. I think it'll just have a higher science output throughout the game here. But we'll take a look at that once we get some of our wonder engineers in. There's the problem with having all these wonders available and having the deity AI not taking them all up is that you can kind of get tempted by all of them. So we'll try and be picky and choosy about the ones we really do want. Now, I think we're actually going to struggle here. I think this is going to be a difficult siege for us. Let's declare war, though. Let's declare war to get it underway. I think we're going to struggle a little bit. Yeah, there's just lots of units. There's lots that can go wrong here. How much do you do? I mean, you do kill the crossbows in 1 turn, so maybe it's not all bad, but they just have a lot of firepower that I'm worried about here. I mean, that still does quite a bit of damage. It's just whether or not you can heal at the right pace to keep up with it is more the problem. So they're attacking everybody, but I think if I keep the scientists there, I should be able to heal up as we're being attacked. And then as soon as I can pick off the units, I'm not as worried about the walls. The mausoleum at Halicarnassus is great, though. It's going to make our coastal tiles a little better in the early turn, but the main reason we want this is for our great engineers. It gives all of them +1 charge, and so all of the engineers that help with wonders, all the engineers that have, 1 or 2 charges are now going to get 3 or 4 charges, which is much, much better. I need to get the builder card back in so I can settle this city with maximum buildage. So let's do that. We're feeling good about it. Yeah, if I can just pick off this crossbow. He's going to have a hard time building units, right? This is not a civ that is going to be able to build units. And so I don't need to worry about that. I just need to be able to pick off things as I go. And this looks like it's going well for that. And as soon as I can kind of get in where it's just a crossbow in the walls, I think that should be okay. We have finished our, mid-tier government plaza building, the intelligence agency. It's going to give us a spy. The thing that would most derail our game is if Pingala got taken out, so I'm going to send it to DNC and defend Pingala from the city center. We have circumnavigated the world, which means we kind of crossed across the entire thing, which is awesome for us. That's going to be a little bit of era score that we didn't have before. Over here in Gang Young, things are still going well enough. I'm able to pick off the crossbows as they come for us, which is great. I think you'll be able to survive, so let's fortify you. The scientist will heal you up. Same with everybody else, and we'll see how we do. Now, the spy will kind of guard everything in our one tile radius around it. So if I get to the entertainment complex, it'll still guard Pingala, but also this theater square here and this theater square here, which I think is worth it in the whole. With my theater squares, I'm doing my pretty standard, 2 or 3 art museums to every archaeological museum. What I really, really want is, this might even be better as an art museum to synergize with Pingala's tourism, but it's not really something we're doing in this game anyway. But I want to be able to remove artifacts from the map. I want to be able to get a variety of different things in my, culture portfolio. And so I usually find 2 or 3 art museums for every archaeological museum is typically a good ratio. It's taken a little bit of managing, but I'm finally kind of getting in and getting the health pillages and getting my units healed up so that we can have some full health Hwachas. I actually thought that was a full health Hwacha. Did I just get my Hwacha killed? Oh, God. Chosen campus gains 2 housing and 1 amenities, increases non-food yield benefits of happiness by 40%. That's a great deal. I don't know if we're happy enough for that to be incredible yet, but we'll get there. Our great scientists can finally be used in the mountains, so we'll get a bunch of science from that, which is awesome. I don't think we're going to really use railroads too much, but that's all good. Straight to research labs, please, so we can improve our campuses even further. Yeah, I did just get one of our Hwachas killed, and that was because the UI was hidden, so the amount of health was hidden underneath, and I just saw a different number than what it was. That feels really bad. I'm not going to restart the turn or anything, but that does feel bad. You want that to feel better, but we're down a Hwacha. I still think we'll get Samarkand, no problem. But it sucks when you make little mistakes like that. These Nazca lines are really making these tiles incredible. I'm having a great time over here with them. They've purchased another crossbow. It might be just a little too late, though, because I think our musket can kind of head in and do a lot of the damage here. I wonder if I hit you with this, if I can just take the city. Is that going to work out? No, not quite. Oh, dear. I wonder if that just doomed our Hwacha again. If I just killed another Hwacha? Oh, that was really close. It's possible I've just doomed another Hwacha. Well, I did doom another Hwacha, but you know what? We got Samarkand in the end, so I'm not overly stressed about it. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah, that unit's gone, too. So overall, I could have done that quite a bit differently. I think just getting a siege tower would have made that a lot easier, or a siege unit or whatever. But hey, we got there in the end. That's all good. Not my finest work, but now I can settle my super cool city up here. Settler has been purchased. That's just a new ability. We've had to purchase that, though, so I didn't forget to purchase it as we went along. First, great work of art is going in, which is exciting. An art museum done here. Lots of economizing happening, lots of amphitheaters, lots of workshops going in, some factories done, some workshops done in the Jive Hive. We should be able, 6 great engineer points per turn now. We're kind of cruising through here. That Wonder Construction Engineer will give us some options when it comes to Oxford University or Ruhr Valley or some of these wonders we're thinking of. So we're in a really good spot here. You can see, too, just how much better these tiles are now that we're advancing in the game. We're getting some 6-charge builders. We're getting lumber mills and farms and everything down. These tiles are just looking a whole lot better. I can finally get this district that I want, though, which is a commercial hub right here. So we're going to do that. That's really, really exciting. There's a few districts I really want here. I think I'm going to go for an entertainment complex next to this theater square, though. We're going to really struggle for amenities, so that'll be helpful. Getting this theater square boosted as well will be nice. So I think that'll be our play. We've got another great admiral. This time it's going to give us a trade route capacity and a trader, which is really welcome. That's really exciting. I would prefer if I could trade with oh, have I gotten rid of all my route options? I have, because I got rid of the city-states nearby. Let's see if we can go from like Seoul to one of the Vietnam cities, Thang Long maybe. And then we're going to get 215 production towards wonder construction. But crucially, because we have the mausoleum, this has 3 charges instead of 2. So we're going to get, 645 instead of whatever, 200 or 430. Is that math? Did I math that correctly? Who even knows? But we can bring that to DNC now, and we can make some choices. I can settle that there. And we can grab, partial. It's like a half of an Oxford University, maybe. You know what I mean? Or we could come up here and we can get this petrol release. Is Emotep next? No, Emotep is not next. They haven't been recruited, though. So Emotep is just in the mix here. That's all good. When we get Emotep, we'll use Emotep to put the Petra down, I think. I think, though, that our original plan of getting Ruhr Valley here is not super ideal. This is just a city that's struggling with production, even with a... Now, to be fair, it doesn't have a workshop or a factory or anything yet. But we're already at 19 production here. We're at more production in Gangneung. There's more mines around. I think this is the better Ruhr Valley city in Gangneung, and I think we might grab this industrial zone here quickly so we can get the Ruhr Valley. In the meantime, I'll use this engineer on the Oxford University, I think, though. Let us start plotting down the Oxford University. It's a really good wonder for us. As much as I love a farm next to a Seoan, I don't think it's critical to our empire's success to have the farm next to the Seoan, so we'll do that. And then in 2 turns, we'll get underway with our wonder construction. We aren't able to make it to Vietnam, which is unfortunate, but I can go to Brussels for a whack load of gold, so we're going to do that instead. I think the democracy way of doing this with trade routes for the production and food kind of stacked in one city is the most interesting way to do this, but it's also the most complicated. Communism is a far easier kind of thing we're going towards. Plus 10% science, obviously great. Plus 0.6 production per citizen in cities with a governor. That's really great because we are going to have governors in our cities anyway for the boost we already get. So we'll go communism here, and we're going to get the 3 factories to boost this anyway, so that's what we'll do. With the city-states, I've been going for, the 2 science ones and the 2 production ones are going to be great for us. We need to make sure we keep Nazca, because those Nazca lines are going to be helpful as well. But otherwise, we're just doing our best to get as many of these boosts as we can. This is the final turn of the medieval era, so we just want to make sure we are spending our faith where we can before monumentality runs out. We have enough for a trader. We have a trade route slot, match made in heaven. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. We are going to go for that Oxford University and DNC, and we can start using our wonder construction for it. So 3 charges will take off 8 turns each. That's 24 turns off of a Oxford University, which feels pretty darn good. You can see the economizing still happening, even more mid-tier buildings now. Lighthouses for trade routes, arenas for amenities, universities for science. Things are starting to pop off here. You can see that's reflected in the yields as well. We are well ahead in culture now. We are still cruising ahead in science. It helps that we got rid of Germany, who is doing the next best. But hey, sometimes you got to take advantage of what you can. If we had more amenities on this map, I would say, too, that this would be a great spot for a city. Lots of high-yield tiles. You could settle here, aqueduct to this little lake. Maybe that's still worth doing, to be honest. Maybe that's worth looking at a little bit later in the game. Just a really good city that goes in the middle here. I'm just not sure what it would give us. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, not my favorite deal ever, but we have the extras, so we'll sell them. Yeah, not so many golden ages this time around. We have monumentality again, which is awesome. So we will pick monumentality. So let's do that. We're getting even more faith this time, so that will be wonderful. Let's set this trade route. Brussels is our go-to for that high amount of gold. But that'll be it for this video. We're still kind of in the mid-game, I think, but this is a good recording. I've been recording for 2 hours. It's good for me to stop here just to make sure all the PC settings are okay as well, just to troubleshoot if we need to go in the next video. The next video, we will finish this game, so that will be the end game. Just to recap the mid-game, what we've done is the war with Germany is kind of special to this game, but we've just, settled all of the rest of the cities we need. We've expanded the empire by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cities, I believe, soon to be 7 cities in this mid game, which is perfect. We are approaching the 10 to 12 ratio that I said that I wanted earlier, which is great. We are economizing all of our districts, so we're making sure all of our good districts are down, that we're getting the buildings needed in them. This is resulting in all the great people that we want, all of the wonders we want to build, etc., etc. This is playing out in the yields as well. We are absolutely cruising through where we'd like to be. We are also using a monumental amount of build charges. The amount of 5 and 6 charge builders I got, partially because of monumentality, but partially because of just buying them and building them, was immense. You can see in our cities now, almost every tile has something to do, right? There's very few tiles that are being worked that don't have an improvement on them. We want to make sure we are maximizing the yields in all of our cities. Going into the late game, we are just going to fine-tune our strategy. We're going to move this Ruhr Valley up here. We're going to plan out our spaceports. We're going to make sure that we have the science and production where we need them. I'll finally start going over the kind of victory steps in a science victory here and what we're going to need to achieve each of them. So that'll be in the next video. If you enjoyed this, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so much. Feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, check everything down in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.